To recapitulate what I was saying, I'm just trying to cover a lot of bases on the trumpet, instructing things that are good and helpful, and the extremes of the trumpet. I like to deal with extremes: loud, high, soft, low, and everything in between. My goal here and my intention is to demonstrate and show some extreme things on the trumpet, but also to let you know that it all stems from the fundamentals. I always talk about this. By the way, let's talk about trumpets. Get yourself a great mouthpiece, get yourself a great trumpet. Are you happy with your equipment? Do you even know what you like? Well, if you're a beginner, start with basic equipment, a box 7C mouthpiece, and an instrument that suits whatever you're doing. If it's a beginning instrument, my recommendations: Yamaha makes nice ones. I think Selmer makes better ones. Bach, which is, I believe, produced and created under the guise of Selmer. The old Bundy instruments were great. Olds, you can't get them anymore, but the Olds Ambassador, if you find a used one, are some of the greatest instruments on the planet. Beginning instruments that play as good, if not better, than many pro instruments. I played them, I've had them. But I have a Chicago Bend that I love. What can I do with it? Everything. It's a great trumpet. It can do everything and anything. And it's not me, by the way, it's the trumpet. Chicago Bend. Lock yourself onto a nice free-blowing medium-large bore. The large bores are great if you find a good one. I think Chicago Bend, I played many of them. The earlier ones I didn't like as much. They were a little bit too much reminiscent of the French Besson horns that were a little tight and a little smaller in their sound. As he grew in his the evolution of his trumpet making, his horns actually became freer blowing and a little wider in sound, bigger, more bold, beautiful sound. This is still kind of a more compact sound than many horns. I've had larger blowing horns, freer blowing even, but this is perfect, the resistance, because it gives you everything that I'm looking for in terms of being soft and intimate, to be able to play like Miles. I can do that open. it responds. Does everything and anything. It gives me a very comforting feeling because I like the centering. It keeps me where I need to be, loud or soft, high or low, and it's the horn I've always been looking for. I've got another one. This is a 1953, serial number 3250, and I got it on an eBay purchase, just like I did the other one, which is a serial number 3137, 1951. It's currently at Dr. Valve's, going on the 6th week of having a valve job, have the lacquer strip, and Steve Winans knows what he's doing, and he's going to make it beautiful for me. I love these horns. Get yourself a beautiful horn. I love these instruments. Benge, they do it for me a little bit more than other instruments. I've played many Bachs. Bach Stradivarius has been the standard by which others have been measured for, decades and decades and decades. I compare the Benge to the lightweight Bach series. That's the closest thing that Bach's ever come to a Benge. I believe that the lightweight Bach series, they're wonderful if you get a good one. These respond similarly, which is why I love Benge. A quicker response, slightly freer blowing, warm down low, but they sting like a bee up top. Very brilliant, very cutting instruments. It's just a real phenomenal instrument for so many applications, from classical, orchestral, chamber music, solo work, commercial music, small group jazz, big band, absolutely. Current commercial music, studio use, rock and roll, R&B. Oh yeah, this thing does it all. That's why I love it. That's why I'm going to keep both my horns. I have a 1960 Burbank that I love too. Anyways, I love Benges. I'm a big staunch disciple of Benge. I went through a phase of Colicchio and I love those instruments. Those were fantastic instruments for a period of time. Some people still swear by them. Steve Reed plays one right now. They were really famous. Bobby Finley turned his brother Chuck Finley on to them in the late 60s, early 70s, sometime there. Chuck played it and had for 30-some years and was incredibly successful at it and played great on them. I believe he influenced Gary Grant and Jerry Hay, and all of a sudden this became a Colicchio town. Somewhere right around like 1975 all the way through the end of the 80s. And that was the recording horn that everybody used. Lee Thornburg, very successful advocate of Colicchio. And again, for me, I love those instruments, but they were a little one-sided for my purpose. I played them for many years and recorded on them, but found that I could do the same thing on this horn and more. Sometimes when I wanted a rounder, softer, more legitimate sound, a warmer sound, it was hard for me to ever get on a Colicchio trumpet. I know they have thicker gauge metal bells and all that, but the blow on them was way too cumbersome. The resistance was too much. So anyway, for commercial purposes and even many classical, I always resort to lightweight Bachs or Benges. Benge is pretty much where I'm staying right now. That's it for horns. Look for one yourself. If you love one out there, Edwards, Harrelson, Taylor. If there's a horn out there that's got your name on it and you love it, then do it. Go for it. Not partial to some of the major brands. I don't want to mention any names. And I just really think that the old custom vintage horns had more soul to them. They were handcrafted by people that really cared, and they tweaked them just the way you wanted them. If you get a good one, love it and keep it. Anbrass, ANBRASS.com. Anbrass, relocated from Valencia, right next to Bob Reed's brass mouthpieces, all the way here to Van Nuys. They're there now. If you ever need your horns worked on or tweaked or anything concerning brass repair, go there. Alvaro Nova and Jose Mauricio will take care of you. Absolutely, the greatest guys. I love their work and their dedication to their craftsmanship. They're wonderful artisans that have helped this horn and all the horns I've ever had. Getting away, if you have any interest in listening to me play or wanted to hear more about me, you can tune into my website, which will be revamped shortly. DaveCNorman.com. DaveCNorman.com. There you can purchase some of my CDs and any of my books that I may have available. I have some warm-up studies and other methods coming out. I have a high note method, high note exercise method that was a little bit outrageous. I'm going to try to tone things down, bring things a little bit more to the beginning student, intermediate student, and even advanced student in terms of its general application for simpler techniques and studies that you can utilize day in and day out without taxing you so much. There's a lot to talk about trumpet. The way I play is unique. I could talk to you about puff cheeks, non-puff cheeks, and high notes and how they're produced. We can get into all that. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, but go to my website, dave@davecnorman.com.